Hello everyone, welcome back to Discovering Dawson's Creek here on the It's a Wonderful Podcast YouTube channel. I have no idea why I'm smiling, Janine, because I'm very, very annoyed indeed.
I tried to warn you.
You did. Last time on Discovering Dawson's Creek, we had two pretty exceptional episodes of this show. If not the fact that they ended rather sadly, rather heartbreakingly even, we'll go to that extreme. I was very much a fan of them and was happy to have watched them, happy with some of the things that were going on in those two episodes that were Stolen Kisses and The Longest Day. But no, now we're getting the fallout from all that, aren't we? Now we're getting the fallout from all that. And Mr. Petty himself has become the pettiest of all petty that he's ever been.
Yeah.
And over the course of two episodes here, I have never in my life of watching Dawson's Creek, which has been a surprisingly long time now.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Have been this annoyed with Mr. Leary. I know I've come dressed as him for the episode today.
Well, I always just see it as 90s flannel appreciation. So not
my hair doesn't help me in that regard either, does it really?
Yeah,
I mean, my hair is pretty similar to how James Van Der Beek had his hair at this particular point in time.
A little bit.
The problem I have is I was very close to turning it off, and I don't mean that in a I don't like it kind of way. I just mean that in it's annoying me too much now. I don't want to watch it anymore, and I do want to watch it. I of course want to keep watching it, but we reach a limit, don't we? We can reach a level of toleration, and I'm sorry it's been passed. What is he doing? Why? And why? I must ask this question as well, please. We're going to get into it, obviously.
Yes.
And I'm led to believe, I said this to you before we started recording. I was made aware that the finale of season 3 of Dawson's Creek has the famous Dawson crying meme, and I was very excited for that because look how sad he is. And I'm questioning now if that is actually true and you've not just duped me into some sort of continuation of watching it, and that doesn't actually happen for another 2 seasons or whatever. Because why is he getting everything he wants? He's getting everything he wants, and he doesn't deserve to be getting everything he deserves to be getting nothing he wants. Why? Why is he, of all people, getting everything he wants? He does nothing but terrible things to every single person in his life. Oh, look, it's all falling into place. Get out of my face with it all, rant. Partially over for the moment. Janine.
Yes.
Surely you're annoyed. Surely you're.
I mean,
annoyed.
that's why I warned you. I warned you that Dawson was going to be totally insufferable in these 2 episodes leading up to the finale. I did recall getting some very annoyed texts from you as you watched these episodes. And I'm right there with you. Yes, Dawson seemingly, does some really stupid, obnoxious, petty things and still somehow ends up
dangerous things.
Yes, and still Hunt somehow ends up with Joey still open to continuing a friendship with him, even though she is kind of worried that he has romantic intentions. So and sidelining Pacey in a bit of a harsh way. But Pacey, like, he hits the nail on the head when he's like with the regatta race, and he says to her, perfect move from Dawson, because no matter what I do, Dawson wins. And even after kind of Dawson's very petty behavior, she's still open to a friendship with him. She's still coming over movie night. This is a friendship I want to salvage type situation. Meanwhile, Pacey gets completely ignored. So we are seeing what people warned Pacey about in this scenario as well. That he would lose his friends, that Joey and Dawson would continue on with their friendship. And because it's the core friendship of the show, and because of the history, that is why Dawson is getting everything he wants.
This is the problem now, though, isn't it? I understand that, quote unquote, this is the core friendship of the show. I understand that everybody's been telling Pacey, just be aware, you mess this up, which is probably likely to happen, as we got all in the last episodes, obviously. There's only 2 people coming out of this okay, and it ain't you, in this triangle, Pacey. This mythical mysticism of the Dawson and Joey friendship, I would like to actually see it, please. Because for 3 seasons now, I have seen nothing but manipulation in one way or another. Very little in the realm of an actual positive friendship connection between the 2 of them have I seen in the course of 3 seasons. Very, very, very little.
Yeah.
So we're told all of this, aren't we? And this is the issue. We're told all of it by other people.
But
We're
Pacey,
told about the history. We're told about the growing up. Why don't they show it to us then?
yes,
Why
and
why
Pacey,
don't they at least show us more? I don't know. Be wacky for a couple of episodes. Just do some flashbacks. Let me actually believe that they should be friends before trying to punch it down my throat every time. And I'm
yes,
not
and
upset
have
with
that.
the show. I'm
Yeah.
upset with the situation. I
Yes, and
understand the structure of the show. I understand the story of the show. I'm not having a go there. But I
yeah,
would like to just believe what everybody within the show tells me to believe for once.
yeah. No, I get that. Like, to have that be the crux of why Joey is seemingly letting Dawson slide with a lot of his bad behavior needs to be a bit stronger. I agree. And Pacey
Because I've
even kind of
always been
calls it
Team
out.
Joey, and I'm just like I'm losing the will with Joey. I don't understand her decisions anymore.
Yes, and, Pacey even calls it out. Pacey, always the smartest guy in the room, when he says, I think Dawson tries to throw it in his face, "We have history or something," and Pacey's like, "Some history, watching movies in your bedroom and pretending to be grown-ups," like,
Correct.
and overanalyzing everyone. That's really some history that you're kind of bragging about, Dawson. So yeah, Pacey even kind of calls it out in the way that the show has presented this epic friendship to us. But yeah, even something to show like his support for her or his family support for her when her mother died, or something to show,
Yes, for
you know,
anything.
yes. Yeah, so I
In
completely
fact,
get your frustration with Dawson, because he just behaves badly. He gets a little bit of a reprimand from Joey and kind of, clear uh clearly getting confronted by people for his behavior, but he still doesn't really pay any huge consequences for his kind of crap behavior in these 2 episodes, which sucks. So
I get the feeling, and I think it's evident in these couple of episodes as well, and it's certainly evident over the course of the show, that it's actually Mitch and or Gale who support Joey and the Potters more
yeah.
than Dawson ever did. Like it's when they're children, obviously. Well, it's Mitch
Yeah.
and Gale welcoming Joey into their home all
Mhm.
the time and
Yeah.
allowing her to stay there and supporting her. And obviously, she's got a difficult home life herself,
Mhm.
so they're there. It's not like 9-year-old Dawson doing all that, is it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's his parents, it's his mother and father doing that,
Yeah.
and they're the ones who support a lot in the Potter B&B. They're the ones who, in this first episode, in the regatta thing, Gale ends up sponsoring, or some sort of it's Dawson
No,
sponsoring the restaurant or the Potter, the B&B, or some such nonsense.
Dawson ends up supporting the Potter B&B, but Mitch, seeing that Dawson doesn't know what he's doing, helps Dawson run the race.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it comes from them two, and because they are parental age, they've got 25 years on Joey. She can't really be friends with them, I guess. So she
Yeah.
has to be friends with their son, who's just been there the whole time. And all these nice people who've supported me all my life. Oh yeah, they have a son. I guess we're
Guess
best
I'll be
friends
friends.
now. That's what it gives. That is
I
the
mean,
energy it gives.
yes, I get where you're coming from, and it's like I don't think I've noticed that or realized that much until this watch with you, because obviously I've rewatched the show several times.
This is because I'm coming in with
Yes,
intelligent
you would.
points. That's why.
You're coming in with your great annoyance of this character, giving me some perspective. Because yeah, if you think about it, they don't give us a ton of what makes their friendship so strong and so
They don't.
important.
We're just
You
told. We're
know?
literally just told it is.
Yeah. And
And
so
that's clearly
seeing,
what the show wants to be, because the
yes,
show's too
exactly. And
intelligent.
you just accept that. We've accepted that. But when we're seeing that Dawson is getting forgiven for all his kind of crappy behavior because of the strength of this epic friendship, then we're starting to question, how strong really is this friendship? Because we haven't really seen it. And Dawson's acting pretty ass right now. So how
Oh,
is this friendship so strong to forgive him for his pettiness that he's having in these 2 episodes? So
and for everything else that's happened, let us not forget Mike Potter.
yes, you love Mike Potter. You're
I
justice.
will
You are
not forget
you are
that.
a justice
Justice
warrior
Mike.
for Mike Potter. And
I
yeah, the
really
fact
am.
that she forgave him for that when she said she would probably never speak to him again. So yeah,
Has she forgiven her father?
I don't
I
know
don't
because
know. She's
I
not
don't
mentioned him.
believe
This is a problem.
our
I'm
good
no longer
friend
team.
who is
I'm no
just as
longer team Joey.
invested, Erica Monroe, he might be able to let us know if Mike Potter comes back, but I don't remember if he does, because I'm not as strong remembering the college years as I am these early, high school years episodes, but I don't think we get much reference to Mike Potter again. So
I want to. I want to keep being Team Joey. I've been Team Joey since day one, since episode 1.
yeah.
I don't want it to slide. She's making it tough for me. And I
Okay.
don't like that.
Okay.
Let's get into the binder. Let's get into the
Yes.
specifics of the episodes. That is what we've talked about and opened this episode with, the overarching theme of these 2 episodes. So we're
Yes.
not out of our way to discuss that particular topic. But yes, season 3, episode 21 to start. Show me love. Baby,
Yes.
if you want me, you've got to show me love. Show me why.
Yes.
Show me why it's even possible.
Yes.
That's not the lyric. I'm
Just
despairing.
feeling it. Episode 321, Show Me Love. A defining moment.
Is it now?
As Capeside prepares for the annual spring regatta, Dawson and Pacey compete for the winning trophy. Only Joey is tired of feeling like the prize. Meanwhile, after many weeks of mixed messages, Gail makes the first move with Mitch, and after Jen finally forgives Henry for his one-track mind, he gives Jen the most romantic night of her life.
We might give Jen the most romantic night of her life and then completely ruin it the next episode. So that was funny, wasn't it?
Yes, but also Jen really kind of just, again, being really in her head about Henry as well because of, her past and her stigma kind of on herself.
Do we understand it though? Because
Of course
he
we
is
do.
the most full-on person I think I've ever come across.
Yeah. He be doing too much, and it confuses her because she's never been in a functioning relationship before, so it
And
scares
I
her.
don't know if this is just like who plays Henry. I forgot his name. I believe he's a bit
Michael
of
Pitt. Michael Pitt.
yeah. I believe he's a bit questionable these days, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point. He looks creepy. Like in the thing, he looks like he's on something. Like his eyes, they're just a bit. They're kind of puffy and red, and I don't mean to judge the man's
Well, I mean,
appearance, but he looks just. I know he's supposed to be a hound dog, kind of sad sack character, but he actually physically looks like that, and
well,
I don't know if that's just good casting or a weird coincidence.
I think a
he
lot
looks
of that
ill.
I think a lot of that is he's supposed to look like that because he's standing outside her house in the rain and being miserable for quite a bit of this. So,
It's like,
um,
how much of his life does he spend crying? Because his eyes look like it, he spends an awful lot of time crying.
well, yeah, I mean, because he is just so devoted to Jen and she, and that he's upset her, I guess. But yeah, like I don't know that I was ever a huge fan of the Jen and Henry relationship. Like I liked seeing that for Jen. I liked seeing that, she for the first time was getting this kind of love and attention and support from somebody because she's never had that. But then it
I like
also
seeing her
gets
develop trust and develop a
yeah,
genuine
but has
that
she? Because
camaraderie with
but
somebody.
she questions everything he does. And then he reassures
Mm,
her, and then she's questioning things again. So
and
it's
then he
for him
spoils
to
himself.
understand her and to be patient with her, which I don't think he has an easy time doing,
He's
which
no
we end up
capacity for patience at all.
no, no. As these kind of last few episodes we've seen with them, he hasn't really had a ton of patience for her questioning things, which means he doesn't really understand her or really fully
Yeah.
understand what she's been through, even though he says he does. Because he's still kind
Mm.
of immature. I mean, he is a freshman to her junior, I believe, in high school age. So,
You
um,
see, that sounds like Junior would be younger because
yeah.
it's Junior, and Junior's always the younger person.
Yes.
American high school terminology's
Freshman,
always
yes.
been weird to me.
Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So, 3rd
Junior
year.
should come first. I don't
Well,
get, which
I
is
mean,
weird as
but
well
freshman is
because
also a very early sounding word. I mean,
it is, yes, that's true. Yes.
yes.
Um,
So think he's 14 to her 16 is basically kind of the gap
no,
there, the
yeah,
2
I
year
get it.
gap. So I guess it makes sense that he would not fully understand her emotional intelligence and her emotional kind of uh
Yeah.
pain that she's had to deal with, that he would
No, but
ultimately lose
nobody.
patience with her questioning everything. So that's what ultimately has been deteriorating within their relationship in these past few episodes. So
For
um
for a show full of characters who love to talk to one another, who love to wax lyrical about all manner of things with each other, nobody communicates properly, and I don't like it.
yeah, and because even in the next episode, I think Jen presents her point and her fear of, that night and his behavior. She presents how she feels very eloquently to Henry, and you would
Mm,
think his response would be to understand, but he immediately just counters with, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'm not going to be standing outside. It's not just, good night, it's goodbye. Like after she really kind of clearly lays out her fears, her insecurities, her concerns with that night. So yeah, I think it just comes down to him being a little too immature for this relationship. And
yes, I
and
think
Jen
so.
kind of should have played into her original kind of instincts about him. But
Yeah,
he
but the thing is,
didn't.
that's not even his fault if he's 14. I'm not condemning him.
Yeah.
It's the situation that's the kind of problem. If you want to present something as, "Oh, isn't this nice? This might work," then have the background there, have the
Yeah.
spine there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's all a floppy mess of flop on the floor. And
Yes,
and
but I mean I
Jen and
mean, I'm
Henry to me have always been a bit of a floppy mess of flop on the floor because it's never going to have gone anywhere, is it?
yes, yes, and so that's what I'm saying. I do believe maybe his youth is what makes it more difficult for him to maturely communicate with
Yeah.
her. So I think that is what is playing into this latter half of their relationship. But yeah, she ultimately does forgive him, and then he takes her up to the rooftop of the restaurant with this romantic kind of setup and candles and the boats on the water, and things seem to be going well. And but then it becomes an issue with her and Graham's not
Oh,
trusting her again.
yes.
You know,
Which I didn't like. Where's this come from?
yeah,
Where is
Graham's
this season 1
immediately
Graham's attitude?
yes, Graham's immediately assuming that Jen being out all night with Henry means that she slept with him. And Jen being really hurt by this because she's like, the fact that you haven't seen this change in me is the most disappointing part of all of this.
However, I think Graham's probably, we see it a little bit, but she kind of reasonably quickly comes to her senses and
Yes.
realizes he's been rude and
really quick to judge Jen
yeah.
and just assume that she's kind of slipped back into her old ways and that kind of thing. So quickly resolved between the two of them. But I think this conflict with
Yeah.
Henry was more to develop the Jen and Graham's relationship, which I think we always love considering how
We
they
do,
started.
yes.
So yes.
What we have to keep in mind, though, is this supposedly most romantic night of all romantic nights is they are on the roof of a fish restaurant next to the air vent from the kitchen that probably smells very strongly of warm fish.
Yes.
So,
So I don't think any kind of hot business would be going
no,
on, Grams. So just be aware of that. But
it would be very smelly.
yes, I'm sure. And on the water with the boats and the fishermen and all that as
Yes.
well. So yes,
Smell
romantic,
like
yes.
communal microwaves where somebody's had decided to put mackerel in there or something.
Yes. So romantic, yes, but I don't know how romantic you could get with the fish smells kind of floating around.
No.
Good point. Good point.
You don't quite get that through the screen, you see, though. So
Yes.
you have to imagine it.
Exactly. And then the biggest kind of storyline in this episode is the fallout of the longest day with
Yes.
Pacey, Joey, and Dawson all not really talking to each other. So we get this bit of kind of a montage of how the relationship's going, seeing each other in the hall, Dawson staring daggers at Pacey, Pacey looking sad at Joey, and not talking
The
really to
hilarious
either of
thing.
them. Yeah.
No, the hilarious thing about it is that it's now just turned into a one-sided battle. Where only one side of the three sides wants to have some sort of big boxing match fight bust up
Yes,
situation.
exactly.
He might as well put on his military uniform from the 15th century, pitch up, and start brandishing his longsword or
Well,
something like
yeah,
that.
I mean,
With the vigor he wants to fight Pacey, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. Pacey at one point in the episode just tells him, "Just hit me then. Go get it out of your system
yes,
so
if
we
you
can
want me,
stop
or
this
even,
nonsense."
mhm,
And he doesn't even do that. Oh no, I don't actually want to do that. I want to prolong everything. I want to make
I want
you
to be the victim.
suffer.
I want to be, yes, I want to be the
I'm
sad
so
sack and
sad.
play this
I've
up.
been hurt.
Yes,
Just stop it.
yes, even in
Stop
the
with the
race.
war.
Yes, even with the race, and Pacey tells him, if you want me to drop out, you're just gonna have to ask me, Dawson. Like, just say it. Like, stop dancing around it so you can prolong this, woe is me, I'm the victim, I was scorned by this man situation. And I love
No.
Jack as
What he's
well, kind
going
of
to do
calling him.
instead. Yes, sorry. I mean, what he's
I
going
was
to
just
do
I love
instead
that. Yeah.
is make a dangerous play in the boat
Yeah.
race
Yeah.
and cause disqualification for himself when he thinks he's won, which I did find quite amusing actually. How he comes
Yes.
up celebrating, giving it all this. Oh, I've won, I've won, I've won. No, you're not. You know you haven't, you
You got
idiot. You were disqualified for
disqualified.
doing that. What? Ah!
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes, I
Actually,
knew you would
sorry I
enjoy that.
interrupted.
No, I was just saying, well, Jack calls it out as well, kind of what you mentioned, like when he does go ask Jack to borrow their father's boat for this race. Jack makes a comment like, wouldn't pistols at dawn be more suitable,
Yes.
kind of thing.
Again,
Yes.
Jack, we've not had enough of you in the last few episodes. Where have you been? I'm glad you get 2 episodes where we're focusing a bit more on you again. I like Jack, but he's always been the most sensible person
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
6-person group.
Yes.
And here he is again making sensible decisions. Actually, just shoot him then if you want to.
Yes, exactly. And he's also gives some really sensible advice to Joey in the next episode as well. So Jack has some nice
Yes, he
moments
does.
here, as we didn't really
But,
see him in those previous two. But yeah,
but then a sad
basically,
moment as well at the end of the next
yes. Yes,
episode.
which we will get into. But yeah, this conflict comes about as there's this big regatta race. We saw Pacey's new boat, True Love.
Yes.
And weeks before, months before all of this had happened, because I think they do mention maybe like 2 months. So a couple months I think have passed with this just non-talking of the three of them.
2 months, was it?
I think, because I think Gail had said we agreed months ago to let him sponsor Leary's Fresh Fish in the race. And I think somebody mentioned something about a few months that this has been going on, or a few months since this happened, or something. I thought I had remembered a
Okay.
timeline of a couple months.
Okay.
So yeah, imagine kind of the scene of Joey in the cafeteria. She can't sit with Dawson, she can't
Yeah.
sit with Pacey, she can't sit with Andy, so she sits alone. That going on for such a long time.
Well,
But ultimately,
she could sit with Pacey if she wanted to sit with Pacey.
exactly. But no, if
Nobody would
Dawson
have a
sees,
problem.
oh Lord, we can't upset Dawson. So yeah, basically the big conflict, the Learys months ago before this conflict had happened, um, let Pacey sponsor them in the regatta. And
Yeah.
Mitch is very kind of quickly on Dawson's side, which, okay, sure, I get it, I guess. But
He's your son, yes, okay. But also,
yes,
like,
but Gail being much more
come
kind
on.
of thoughtful about it. Like, it's advertising for a restaurant. I would hate to pull out now. Like, uh, you know, this is something we agreed to before. But Mitch is
Yeah.
very much like, well, if Dawson doesn't like this, maybe we shouldn't do it. So then Dawson's like, what's going on? And Mitch offers, of course you come first, son. So if you're not okay with this, just let us know. But of course, no, Dawson wants to hold on to being victim. No, 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 it's fine. It's fine, Dad.
Mm,
I'll even take him the banner myself. Like he's all
this is
fine.
the problem, isn't it? This is the
Yes.
problem as well, because Dawson's obviously only child. So Molly coddled. Oh, aren't
Yes.
you the best
Mhm.
thing to have ever existed?
Yes. We'll
And
do
now
what
I
you
don't
want,
like this from
son.
Mitch. I
Yeah.
don't like this from Mitch.
Yeah.
There's enough
Mhm.
from Mitch that I do like in these 2 episodes.
Yes.
But I
Yeah.
don't like this.
Yes, I don't like that he's quick to just like and not kind of consider Dawson's behavior and all of this. So yeah, Dawson acts like he's all fine to his parents, takes the banner to Pacey, and then of course he makes his stance and uh is very kind of cocky and rude. And so
He's like
Pacey's
a
just trying,
toddler.
yeah, Pacey's just
You
trying to
want the
be
banner?
calm.
Do you want the banner? I'm not gonna give you. I'm not gonna give you the banner. Do you want the banner? Just give me the banner. I'm not gonna give you. No,
Like,
I'm gonna enter the race
I'm
instead.
surprised, yeah,
Stop it!
I'm surprised he didn't do some stupid thing like that. But he's really mean to Pacey, he's really cold to him. Pacey just kind of trying to be calm. Dawson, if you want me to drop out, you're just gonna have to ask me. I'm doing this for your parents. I'm doing this for your mom. Like, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
Dawson still just like throwing these kind of motives onto Pacey. Because like when he says these awful things, which he said in the past as well, you don't care, the only reason you would like a girl is if you can save her or screw her. Like he says that to him in this episode as well. um so yeah, Pacey trying to keep his composure, Dawson just being nasty. So he takes him the banner. And then Dawson, ping, gets this great idea. How about I race in the regatta as well for Potter's B&B, so that I can directly go compete against him, but I could also look good to Joey, which I love how Pacey lays out this whole plan, because Pacey runs into Joey, and she goes to kind of try to ask him to drop out, which is just so awful for her to even think to do, just to kind of
Yes.
squash the conflict. Let Pacey, the rational one, uh be the one to drop out, kind of thing. So Pacey, rightfully upset, we haven't, because I think Pacey says we haven't talked, I think in 2 months or something, he says, and the first
Something
words
like
out of
that.
your
Yeah.
mouth are about Dawson, as per
Yeah.
usual, he says. And he lays out the plan. No matter what I do, Dawson wins. If I win, I'm beating Potter's B&B, so I beat you. If I lose, I lose. Dawson wins because he's beating me.
Yeah.
And if I drop
It's,
out, Dawson gets what he wants. So either way, I'm gonna lose and he's gonna win. So
we
he
I
planned
feel
this out
like
perfectly. Yeah.
we really have to question where Dawson gets this hero complex from.
Yeah.
Where's it developed from? This is what I would. I want therapy sessions for Dawson. I'd love this. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's done something of this
Like an analysis
regard
of Dawson
on
Leary.
TikTok or something like that. But I want deep psychological analysis from a professional psychiatrist, you know.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there's somebody somewhere who does this sort of thing for fictional characters.
Yeah.
So why not? Because I need to know. I need to know where it may come from,
Yeah.
because it's so strong. It's so strong. And it makes him insufferable. And it might not even be like his fault originally,
Yeah, but
which
this
is
only
kind of what I'd
child
like to understand.
Yes, this
But
only
it's this
child, him, being
environment.
privileged, yeah, him getting what he wants usually. So when it doesn't go his way, this idealized way of thinking from, his love of Spielberg and that kind of, everything kind of works out kind of
Yes.
mentality. Um,
Doesn't
it
like
must,
noir, does he? Let's not forget that.
oh
Doesn't
yeah,
like noir.
confused him. He was
Too
so
too dark,
perplexed.
too cynical,
Yes, he could not
for
understand
noir.
for the life of him the noir genre. But yeah, the fact that
He's
he
an idiot.
formulates
He is
this
an
sneaky
idiot.
little plan before he even has a boat as well. So then he has to go and
He
ask.
can't even sail.
Yeah, so he has to go and ask Jack for the boat. And I love that Jack throws in his face, the last boat you borrowed, pieces of it are floating in the, in the sea still. Because remember when, he got that little happy ending from Eve, he crashed that his dad's
Yes.
boat. So
Remember Eve?
yes,
No,
but of
I don't
course
either.
Andy, all wrapped up in her bitterness, then, makes a big thing about it. And so convinces Jack to then lend him the boat because she's all wrapped up in her hurt as well, talking about
Yeah.
betrayal and lying behind somebody's back when she cheated on Pacey.
It's
Ugh!
Andy needs to, like,
In this
chill
scene.
out a little
Yes.
bit. I
Yes,
don't think
which she
she
does, because
does.
she ultimately comes around. She decides, I forgive you, Pacey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you that you are kind of the odd man out. I want to still be friends with you. So I like that she
100%.
goes out of her way to like maintain a friendship with Pacey, to understand what he's going through and to make peace with that. Whereas Dawson can't do the same. So yeah.
And I think by the end of the next episode, Andy's in this sort of sad realization kind of
Yeah.
place of this isn't going to work out again with Pacey, but do you know what? It might be okay that, and
Hmm.
we probably can continue to be friends. So I'm not annoyed with Andy anymore. I
No,
think
because she's
she's
kind of
just in this place of she's more sensible emotionally, which is
well,
a
yeah.
strange thing to say for Andy, given what her history it is.
Yeah.
But she kind of is. She's understanding of others' issues.
Well, props. Props to seemingly useless character only there for the spinoff, Will Krudsky, who does
Yes,
give her this kind of
actually.
epiphany.
Yes.
As he's friends with Pacey, he's seeing Pacey's perspective, so he can kind of throw that perspective at Andy in terms of where Pacey's coming from, and talk about, Pacey didn't set out for this to happen. Pacey didn't mean to have feelings for Joey. It just happened. So you got to kind of
Yeah.
understand that this was not a purposeful, malicious thing. You know this man to not be a purposeful, malicious person. So there had to be some kind of extenuating, unexpected, you know, un- circumstances to bring this about. So that deserves a
Yeah.
bit of grace. And so once he kind of gives her Pacey's perspective, she's now able to go to Pacey and say, I understand, let's be friends, even though she still has maybe a little bit of feelings for him as well. But she can
Oh
kind of
yeah.
be there and be a friend to him when she sees he kind of has nobody right now, especially for all the stuff he did for her. So Andy does come around, but Dawson's still kind of being a dick about this. So yeah, he ultimately, and I love that Joey, even when she sees the Leary's banner on his boat in the first place, Pacey's boat, she kind of sees that as a hopeful sign for something good, but then quickly realizes that no, it is not that. So yeah, the regatta race happens. I think I had kind of warned you about like the dueling businesses situation. So Larry's Fresh Fish against
Yes.
Potter's B&B. Um, and Dawson pulling a really shady move, not giving Pacey's boat the room that they are allowed or allotted in a race like this. And so Pacey veers out of the way to avoid a collision because Dawson will not get out of his way.
Yeah.
And
It's like in
ultimately,
a track race, in like a, an Olympic
yeah.
circle
Hmm.
running
Yeah.
race. It would be like if somebody
You
on
got
the
in
third
somebody's
lane
lane. Yeah.
decided to just veer into the first lane for whatever reason, and
Yeah.
everybody else stuck to their lanes perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But they wanted to do that because it would have given them an advantage, thus disqualification when he thinks it was a perfectly valid thing to
Yes.
do. He's an idiot. Enter the
Yes.
race if you know how to run the race. Don't enter the race if you actually don't know the rules of the race.
Exactly.
He'd be the kind of person who go around playing football, the out my kind, not the American kind that we see in Dawson's Creek, and decide to pick the ball up with his hands, thinking it was American football, and then complain that he was being sent off.
Yes. Yes. So Joey kind of calls him out because yeah, he's like, we won. And she's like, no, if you know anything about sailing, you would know that got you disqualified. And Pacey rightfully pissed because you're like, you almost killed me. Like, what is your problem? And, you know, Pacey calling out, I know what you're doing, trying to play these games with me. And Pacey calling him out as well, saying, you were the one who pushed me towards her because you couldn't be bothered. And he was like, oh, well, no, I pushed you towards her, or, I had you look after her, whatever, because I was hurt. Because I loved her. I still love her. So then, he's making his love confession.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
You had
Because he
ample
doesn't understand.
ample opportunities to get back with this girl, and I think there's one little glimmer of a moment, I think maybe in the second episode, where he acknowledges that he was too busy staring at his blank walls to realize that he still loved her or something.
Oh,
So
yes.
one
His
little
blank
glimmer of a
walls that he
moment.
was told by somebody else to get rid of because, oh, you shouldn't be like that anymore. So he has a lot of integrity, does
Yeah.
Dawson. An
Oh,
awful
yeah.
lot of integrity.
Yes. So
Really,
much.
really
So much.
very, very stand-up kind of person. Not
Yeah.
easily swayed at all.
No, not
And
at
now
all.
all of a sudden he loves. I mean, I don't know what he thinks love is, but this isn't any kind of love I've ever come
Yeah,
across.
no, it's literally just you see someone moving in on something that you thought would always just kind of be there for you whenever you
Want it,
wanted to pick it,
mine, it's
whenever
mine
you felt
now.
like picking that toy back up again. And when you see, like, he got that warning when he thought something was happening in the dance episode. When they were doing the dance
At the
lessons,
start of the season.
and yes, and he thought something was going on, he was getting jealous and mad, and Pacey warned him. How long did you think it was going to take, Dawson, for someone to be interested in this girl, let alone your best friend? Like, he warned him that it would only be a matter of time before somebody was interested in Joey. And that still wasn't enough for him to say, hey, Joey, let's get back together, something. He just was in his head about it's not right. It's just not going to work. I feel like maybe there was a little bit of him wanting to punish her for
Yes.
for the initial breakup of wanting to find herself. And taking in and that satisfaction of she wants me back, I have all the power. I could see that being an underlying reason why Dawson never took her back, because he thought he would always just have her hanging on a hook for him. So this is why the
I mean,
Pacey
it's like
situation drives him mad. I feel
I know
that's
we
what
have
it feels
to.
like. I know, but
I completely agree with you, and I know we have to get into the anti-prom episode as well. I genuinely completely agree with you. It's what makes Dawson feel like somebody who's watched. It's not like he's watched Spielberg movies. It's like he's watched stereotypical commercials from the early 50s of family life, and he
yeah,
believes in I am the man, I do the man things, and the woman is there in the home, doting on me always, and if she
yes.
does not do that,
Be at my beck and
I will
call.
I will leave or do something worse, a la it's the 50s,
Fight another man.
or,
Fight
beat her
beat the
or whatever
yeah.
it is.
Well,
Anything.
fight
I
the
feel like that's what he's
competition
doing.
when I feel
I'm
threatened.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I actually feel like that's what he's doing. I know that might be a little bit of an extreme reading
Just
of
a
the
little bit.
situation, but I just feel like the
I get what
mentality
you
of
mean, though.
Dawson Leary
Yeah, I get what you mean.
becomes that kind of person, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But because he's so I have to be right or in the right all the time.
Mhm.
If there's ever a situation where he's not going to be, it's going to be to a degree, somewhat of an abusive relationship. And no, I don't think he's particularly violent as a person. So it's
No, but he's
definitely going to be
emotionally
emotionally
he gets
manipulative.
yes, he gets very easily threatened, it seems, as
He's
well.
been he's
So,
been watching Gaslight and taking all the wrong lessons from
yes,
it.
a little bit, a little bit. So, yeah, we see that in this scene after the race. Joey tells him he's been disqualified. He admits that he still loves her. Them two fighting. Joey just getting annoyed, like she's tired of being caught in the middle. She's tired of being seen in this prize. She's like, none of this are worth this, particularly not me. I'm done. Like, I just want things to go back to normal. She, kind of scolds Pacey for kissing her and forcing her to figure out what it all means. She,
I don't know why she scolds. I don't know why it's Pacey's fault now. You were very into it at the time. It's your own. It's not even
yes.
your own fault. It's actually Dawson's fault because it all actually stems from the early part of season 1 where Jen comes to town
eh,
and
He
he just
completely
goes,
sidelines her. Yeah.
"Oh, look at Jen.
Pretty
Jen's so
girl. That's all I'm obsessed with.
cool.
Yes, and completely sidelines
I've
his friendship with
forgotten
Joey.
Yeah, I've forgotten this girl who's always been there,
Been
has
here
been my friend,
mhm,
which is what made us Team Joey in the
in
first
the first
place.
place. Yes. So yeah, Joey kind of just saying, I'm done with this. I'm tired of being this prize for the two of you and all of that kind of thing. And then Dawson admitting that he is trying to be the type of man that, he thinks she wants.
It
Somebody who
actually makes me vomit.
yes, when he says, "Pacey, fought a bully for you and bought you a wall, and I was just trying to be that type of guy." And it's
Oh,
like,
you a wall. That's what she wanted. She wanted the wall. What are you complaining about the wall for? The wall
yes,
was a great gift.
which is also really kind of crappy that he goes to her, I think earlier on, I think after the montage of like them all not talking, he goes to her at the wall and says, "I want to repair our friendship. I want to spend time together again." Da 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 da, in front of the wall
Let's
that
just
Pacey
remember
bought
what
her.
let's just remember what Dawson did when her art mural was vandalized in the school. Told her to calm down. It's okay. You can do it again.
Yeah,
That's what he said. Let's not get too into. I
to
don't even remember the guy's
upset
name. What
about
was the
it.
guy's name?
Who
The
destroyed the
the one who
mural?
got expelled, who
Oh, I
was
don't
the reason
remember.
Principal Green has to
Yeah.
leave. I've forgotten his name. Um, but he's very annoying. But like,
Yeah.
why just be like, oh, well, that's just him being what he's like. It's okay. You can do it again. It's not the point, though, is it?
Yeah.
Punish the person.
Exactly,
You're so into punishing people, Dawson, but only when it's in the benefit of you.
yes. And so she tells him, "Well, if you really knew what I wanted, then you would know that I don't want any romantic pursuits at all right now. So if we're
Yes.
gonna do this, it needs to be friendly. You need to be my friend without any kind of motive or agenda or anything like that." So
No, let's
Dawson's
kiss her instead.
so Dawson says he can do that, and they ultimately decide to just be friends. So she goes to his room with a movie, familiar ET, to kind of try to get back into the good place with him. And that's kind
A
of how this
comfort
episode
one.
ends.
Yes, a
Yeah,
comfort movie.
yes.
Understandable to that regard. Can't hate on ET. Not possible to hate on ET.
Yeah.
Um, please let them watch something with a bit more edge, though.
Yes. And Pacey
Just
just
a little bit.
so heartbroken for Pacey because even in the scene where she asks him, just kind of last thing, when she asks him to, talk to Dawson to try to squash things and make peace. He he knows Dawson doesn't want to talk to him, but because she asks him, he still does it anyway.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's met with, yeah, if that's what you want, if that's all that you want. And then she kind of is like, yeah, that's all that I want, and kind of skulks away. So he's still doing things for her. He's still trying to make it right, even though he really did nothing wrong. So we love our Pacey and Dawson's
We do.
face. So
Yes.
All right.
Anti-prom time. Which is even I mean, is it even worse?
I mean,
It's
we get a
equally as bad.
big Dawson's Creek moment, a big moment for fans, a great Pacey moment in this
We do,
episode.
yes. It's a far less annoying episode, in truth, I must say. But I think because it's got more things we actually like within it.
Yes.
But it's still fundamentally annoying because this is what I was talking about before of Dawson getting everything he wants for some such reason.
Yes. And this is the last time we see Will Krutsky, so good luck to him on his young Americans adventure.
You'll be missed.
So episode 322, the anti-prom. Spring fever.
Spring. God.
Dawson, Joey, and Andy prepare their own unique prom when they learn that the committee has scrutinized Jack's selected date. Dawson, who has invited Joey to be his date, uses the special evening to try to win her back and make Pacey jealous. Andy persuades Pacey to be her escort, but her evening ends by consoling him about his love life uncertainties. Jen becomes outraged with Henry when he reveals he is leaving Capeside for the summer. And Gail and Mitch celebrate their newfound romance.
Yes, I mean there's a lot going on, really. I know we've talked at great length though there about the Dawson and Joey of it all, and really this episode is kind of just a continuation of all that we've already talked about. I think there's more interesting things to talk about within the specifics of this anti-prom episode. The most annoying thing Dawson doing here is making this anti-prom all about himself when it was actually a kind of social justice political statement on Jack's
for Jax. Exactly. And then it ends up not really being about him at all. It ends up being what the synopsis said, a way to make Pacey jealous. And Joey calls him out for that as well. So any moment where Dawson gets called out is my favorite.
And it's a great shame that happens, because I must admit, this is why I think I liked the Principal Green to Green with Love episode as well. I like it on the occasion where Dawson's Creek gets quite sociologist, almost gets quite political, gets quite
and things like that,
social issues. Because there's not enough of it in this show, I don't think. It's all very personal melodrama.
Yes.
And we could do with a little bit more, I think.
Bigger
this isn't
world.
A condemnation of the show. This isn't an issue I have. This is, I enjoy watching Dawson's Creek. I certainly clearly enjoy talking about Dawson's Creek, as annoying as it might be. But I'd like to just get more big picture stuff, because it's an issue. It's a serious deal we're talking about here. Jack being discriminated against for wanting to bring Ethan to the prom by this incredibly, stuffy, stuck-up, holier-than-thou girl. Who we've never seen before, or at least I don't think we've ever seen before.
No, we haven't. She's.
I would like more of her as this kind of battle
antagonist.
Figure. As this antagonist, as this person to be going, why are we displaying such bigoted views? Can we not be pleasant people instead? And have that back and forth rather than the constant typical back and forth of the whole show. Broaden it a little bit, maybe sometimes, for the odd little bit of difference. I don't think it would be a bad idea. Dawson's Creek, obviously. Dawson's Creek is what Dawson's Creek is now. I'm going to see what it is for this next 3 seasons. Whatever. Whether we do get more of this or not, it's going to be what it's going to be. But I
Yeah.
think when it does put these bigger picture social issues forward, it does them pretty well. It explores them pretty well.
Mhm.
So I would like to think that more of that comes out of the show, even though I'm not necessarily overly sure it will focus on too much more of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel so much for Jack, and maybe this is just because I like Jack. So
Yeah.
any sort of him, his storyline with him feeling
Developing
so
his
very
yeah.
alone and so
Mhm.
very kind of not seen and all this kind of stuff. I like the exploration
Yeah.
of it all. In our alternative to Morgan hasn't seen TV show Talking Ted Lasso, we've been speaking about
I
Colin
Colin's story. Yeah.
Hughes's
Mhm. Yeah.
coming out story in the in the latest season of Ted Lasso from a very very similar point
Mhm.
here. Um, but it's a very very sad episode really for Jack because it
Yeah.
starts so defiantly, revolutionary, that kind of
Mhm.
let's do it. Let's create this alternative anti-prom to get away from this pretty stuck up version of the
Girl,
prom that's
yeah.
going to be boring.
Yeah.
So let's make our fun for everybody. Come with who you want, do whatever you want. Let's be all inclusive
Mitch
prom.
and Gail
It's
are
very
gonna host
nice.
it at Leary's
Mitch
Fresh
and
Fish,
Gail
and
are
that
gonna
yeah.
host it. It's gonna
Yeah.
stink of fish the entire time. Oh, what a lovely smell for prom. Um, this is this is gonna be great. Um, but it just gets sadder and sadder for Jack because he's slowly realizing, well, this
Maybe
was
I wasn't
kind of
ready for
half
this.
my idea. Maybe I wasn't ready for this, but he's looking around the prom going, maybe this was half my idea, and I was really proud that we've come together and done this. I was really proud
Mhm.
to bring Ethan, but there's there's all this drama going on in the middle of this, and now I feel very uncomfortable, and now I feel uncomfortable with Ethan as well, and now
Yeah.
it's not going to go well, and now I'm crying at the end of the episode.
Yes, but it's
I'm
also
sad about that, Janine.
yeah, and he's also feeling maybe a little bit betrayed by Ethan because he feels like Ethan portrayed himself as this kind of know-all gay guru that was gonna
Yeah, a
help
little
guide
bit.
him, and because of this, Ethan kind of pushing him to do things he wasn't quite ready for. So when he finds out that Ethan also has never gone to a dance or a prom or been in this type of situation or was bold enough to ask somebody to go to a dance like this, Jack is surprised. He's like, you're the one who pushed me to kind of do this and take this leap and take this chance, and you haven't even done it. So now I'm here doing something that I don't feel like I'm ready to do because you talked me into it when you haven't even done it yourself. So he feels a bit of betrayal in that. But then
It's tough.
he does kind of confess that he was kind of likening the idea or liking the idea of somebody who kind of knew more to kind of guide him so that he
Yeah,
could kind of just, go along and be handheld kind of through the next steps of this. So he kind of admits, so he's kind of mean to Ethan. He's kind of rude to him and
he
snaps at
is.
him when he finds out that Ethan isn't quite as seasoned in the
It's not Ethan's fault.
experiences as he thought he was. So Ethan ends up leaving, going to the train station. So Jack kind of tries to stop him and say, "Hey, I'm sorry." And he's like, "I just thought this was something we could, a bridge we could kind of leap over together and this whole kind of thing."
Yeah, he's still
And
got things to figure out as Jack, and
yes, but Jack admits, like, "I wanted you to lean over and kiss me." And Ethan was like, "Well, if you're ready for I didn't want to do anything, I didn't want to do that because I don't know if you're ready. I don't want to put you in that position if I don't feel like you're ready. So if you are
yeah,
ready, I'm standing right here. There's no one around, no cameras, no people, alone in the train station. If you want to kiss me, Jack, kiss me. If you are
he
ready to
doesn't do it.
kiss me." And Jack can't do it.
He
And
can't,
Ethan
and it's
leaves.
very sad.
and Ethan leaves, and yeah, it's really heartbreaking for Jack.
You wonder why at that point he can't bring himself to do it.
Yeah.
I really do wonder why at that
Yeah, because it
point,
seemed like
because
that was kind of the
with
biggest
nobody
thing.
else, with
Nobody
truly
around.
nobody else around, the
Yeah.
biggest thing for Jack is other people seeing him,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So I really do question why he feels maybe he's just overcome with emotion at this particular moment.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I
Yeah,
understand that.
and you feel like before he says no or before he can't do it, he might actually be ready because, um, you know, maybe him realizing that he was bold enough to do something that not even Ethan has done,
Yeah.
after and then after having his talk with Joey, which I love getting, that dynamic because, we forget that they dated and that was a tough kind of breakup in
Yeah, it
terms
was a
of that,
weird one.
but Joey still being incredibly supportive of him after that. So we got a lot of great friendship moments with the two of them once that relationship ended and he came out and all of that. But we haven't really seen them interact in a little bit. So I love that with her conflict with the Pacey Dawson and his conflict with Ethan, they, have a quiet moment together to talk and then they kind of interlace their hands and hold hands for a
Yeah.
minute and, show the support for each other. He implores her to be the kind of bridge between Dawson and Pacey and show them that, you aren't just choosing one over the other. And so that implores Joey to give us one of the best and most fan loved Dawson's Creek moments ever. Um, and her kind of support of him and reminding him, I remember when you first kind of came out and you were in this very dark, lonely place. And I know you're strong enough and brave enough to continue on your journey. And I hope that you find kind of something that makes you happy and that kind of bravery in doing more. So she kind of, supports him there and reminds him of just kind of how strong he is. So you would think after that kind of pep talk Joey gives him, after maybe sitting with it and realizing, wow, I was brave enough to do something that not even Ethan, this person I thought was so seasoned in this lifestyle, couldn't do. I'm alone now. Maybe I should just go for it. But he still can't quite get there. So it's
Yeah.
really, really sad for Jack. But I'm glad we got quite a decent amount of Jack stuff in this episode and development with
Definitely.
that.
Definitely.
Because as you said, Jack is always kind of the best, really great, rational character. Can kind of always look at both sides of things. And yeah, it's really interesting to delve into kind of some more social kind of issues that the show really doesn't as much as maybe would like, but yeah.
Yes, I certainly feel like we need to spend the vast majority of the rest of the episode though talking about your, as you said, fan favorite
Yeah.
Pacey Joey moment, shall we say,
Yes.
for the show. But there's a couple of things to kind of breeze over a little
Oh,
bit
yes.
until that Jen and Henry end up in a breakup kind of situation.
Yes, because she's talking
As we
about
briefly mentioned, obviously, when we were talking about the previous episode, and the levels of maturity just not clicking,
lining up.
and
Yeah.
it comes with that he ends up having chosen to go to
Football camp.
football camp for 8 weeks in the summer. Not that he's remotely told her anything about this, and she was planning for them to have the summer together, and he
Mhm.
didn't communicate that. There's no communication there. It doesn't
Yeah.
look it's the right thing to do to separate.
Yes, because like I said, she eloquently described, she's like, I, planned my whole summer with you, and you were a part of all of my planning and thinking. And he says, my decision to go to football camp had nothing to do with you. And she's like, well, yeah, that's the point. If you actually
Yeah,
like really cared about me in this relationship, then that decision to be away for 2 months would have at least in somewhere I would have factored in. And so the
yeah,
fact that I didn't says everything I need to know kind of thing.
yeah,
And so then he kind of gives her this ultimatum. If you go into that house, it's not just good night, it's goodbye. And so she's like, okay, then goodbye. And ends
yeah.
it right there.
Wild.
So
There
yeah.
you go.
Yes. And
Mitch
then
and
we get
Gail, though. Mitch and
yes,
Gail, though,
Mitch is
because this
very
is
upset.
interesting.
Yes, because they've kind of gone back to their old, like, you know, playful hookup situation as, you know, Dawson and Joey are entering his home and they stumble out of the
Yes.
door, hand in, you know, all embraced, making out, getting caught like they used to in season 1. And it's become this thing we've seen them kind of reconcile, but now it's just kind of become a, you know, physical situation with no really
Yes.
establishment of what it is. Mitch wants to define it. Gail is
Mm.
fine just kind of letting it play out and enjoying herself. So Mitch starts to get kind of upset that he needs to define this relationship. So then we
Which I
get a
think is
conflict.
reasonable,
Yes, I think
obviously.
it is. And so ultimately, by the end of the episode, Gail kind of hears him out and she proposes because then they're now
Yeah.
divorced. So she proposes to Mitch and you know, says, yeah, you know, if we are destined to make the same mistakes again, let's make them again because that's what I want this life with you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
a
like, oh,
great
it's
nice
like
moment.
if we are, I think the quote is, if we're destined to make the same mistakes again, let's hope we make them 10 times better than we did the last time,
Last
or
time, yeah,
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yes,
It's a
and
good
Joey
line.
and yes, and Joey and Dawson are here to witness this reconciliation of his parents. So yay for
And
Mitch
my
and
mind's
Gail.
all over the place because for these two, for the parents over here, I'm like, oh yay, this is good. I
Yes, but
actually
no,
want
I
to
don't
see
want
this.
this for Dawson because I don't want anything good
Correct.
for Dawson. Yes, conflicted
Correct.
feelings in this moment.
Correct. I want to see this happen for these two because I like these two,
Yeah,
despite, you know, the bickering, the fighting, the
the back and
infidelity,
forth.
the messing
Yeah.
around, the whatever it's been. I think them two together is right
Yes.
ultimately,
Mhm.
but take them away from their own son, or any emotional connection to their own son,
Yeah, because Dawson doesn't
because
deserve a
he
happy
doesn't
moment,
deserve it.
as we
I
see
would
in this
rather
prom.
them turn into the Potters than for Dawson's sake, he needs to suffer. So I want him to have the same troubled familial time that Joey had, so we can finally understand her properly.
Yes,
And I
and
don't
maybe
actually
we'll
want
actually
that.
believe that
He's a
friendship.
fictional. Am I allowed to wish ill will on fictional
Yes,
characters?
yes, 100% you are. 100% you are.
That's fine.
So yes, we get Gail and Mitch reconciling, yay for them, boo for anything that makes Dawson happy. So yes, we are at the prom. Um Andy kind of hints that, you know, her and Pacey could go together, but he
Yeah.
says no because she's like, "Oh, you know, I'm sifting through offers." And he's like, "Oh, I don't think I'd be any fun to go with." But she wanted him to ask her because she doesn't have any other offers.
She doesn't
So
have any
then
more at all.
Pacey does decide to go and he asks her to go with him. He's like, "We're friends. Yes, let's go together." So
Very
Andy and
nice, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, you know, I liked Pacey and Andy in season 2. It was
Yes,
a
and he
great
asks her
time.
very sweetly. Calls her Andrea McPhee. Will you go to the prom with me? Very
Yes.
sweet and all that. So they go together. Dawson, he asks Joey, and she kind of lays out, you know, we're going as friends and that whole kind of thing because she is concerned. She does, you know, share these concerns with Bessie that, you know, she's worried about the romantic implications, but she's hoping that it'll just be another way to repair the friendship kind of thing.
You
So,
do know what the worst part of all this, though, is? You do know what the
what?
worst part of them two going to the prom together is? It's not
What?
even the fact that they're going together or that he asks her. It's because he asks her, because remember that pact we made 14 years ago
Yeah.
when we were like 7?
Yeah.
That if we ever went to prom and we didn't have it, we'd go together
Go together.
because we're just that inseparable. We can never remotely live
So
life
yeah, so
without. Stop it!
the
Actively
manipulation
stop it!
the manipulation
The
of him tying
manipulation
it
is
tying it
horrendous.
tying it back to a friendship moment. Yes, that was is so schemy, you know, of him to do. So they're at
I
this
want to
anti-prom.
go to Capeside personally. I want to go to Capeside personally. The fictional town of Capeside personally. Speak to Joey Potter. Remove her from the town. Take her to Paris. She should have gone to Paris. Take her to Paris. Leave her in Paris. Enjoy yourself. Go. Live away. No phones, no letters, nothing. Stay there, and then I'll go back to Capeside and drown him in the Cape itself.
Row him out in that little boat and
just leave him there. Just tie him up,
oh
put him in a boat, and push.
oh my god. Yes, I 100% get those feelings. Those are valid feelings, especially after the moment. So they're at the prom. Of course, Dawson scowling at him, immediately asking Joey to dance in front of him, staring daggers at him the whole time. Joey
It's
giving sad looks.
cartoonish.
Joey giving him sad looks the whole time, and it's just she calls Dawson out, like, I see that you're trying to parade me around in front of him. Is this the whole reason you did this, like to make him jealous? And he's like, oh no, I did it for Jack. And he's trying to play
No, you
victim,
didn't.
play good guy, but she clocks him. So I guess it's moments like this where we see how strong their friendship is, because she knows him well enough to know what he's doing right now, that
I
he's
mean,
literally purposely parading her around in front of Pacey to make him jealous. She knows that's what it is. So she storms out, and that's when we have the Jack moment.
yes.
So yeah,
I mean,
she
absolutely, you're
clocks
right
him.
there.
She clocks his behavior right away.
Absolutely, you're right there. But I don't even necessarily think that means they're good friends. I just think that means she knows him well. That doesn't mean they're actually friends. That just means he's always been there, so she has experience.
I guess I know this guy enough. He's
behavior.
just been there my whole life. So
When I was going to my nice supporting, Leary household, he was just always there.
So I learned a
Nightingale
thing or
just
two
shoved
about
me
him.
upstairs with him. And
I
he
like
was forcing me to watch all these movies. He was forcing me. And we were 10, and he was making me watch Amistad.
I like this new theory that you formulated, that they literally were just friends out of circumstance because she liked his parents and they were too old for her to be friends with them.
Were you never friends with just somebody who was your parents' friend's
Yes,
child?
I was. Yes, I was. So
Like, that happened. And
I
I
like this.
have no bearing on this person. Who's this person? I don't even like this person.
Yes. So I like you completely reformulating the relationship of these two, that this the crux of the show into this whole different thing. But
It's
yes.
simply because Mitch and Gail were pleasant people.
Yes, okay. I mean, I could absorb that as headcanon, because Dawson is just so terrible, especially in these 2 episodes. But yes, so she clocks him, literally just using her to make Pacey jealous. She gets upset, goes outside, has a nice talk with Jack, who kind of implores her to kind of be the bridge, be the stepping stone. Like, things are going to get better unless you show that you are, still, basically caring of both sides of it. As opposed to kind
She
of you
shouldn't
being.
have all that on her, though.
Yes,
It's not
but
for her to. It's not for her to carry all that.
yes, but she needs to at least kind of show that, like, because she right now is very much, I'm talking to Dawson again, but I'm not talking to Pacey again. So even if she doesn't want a romantic thing with either of them because of how difficult it is, I don't think it's fair for her to ignore Pacey and talk to Dawson. So
No, it
that's
isn't, which is
basically
why,
kind
when,
of.
of course,
Yes, so
she
that's why I
does
think
talk
that's,
to
so that's what Jack ultimately kind of tells her, that, like, you need to kind of show the two of them that it's possible for this, at least friendship side of things, to maybe work. So
please end this episode with
I love this
this
moment so much.
this dance, shall we say.
Yes. So she goes up to Pacey and says, there's something I've been meaning to ask you all night. Gives him her hand and says, will you dance with me? He looks, so surprised because he's not expecting this. She takes
Well,
his
let's
hand.
remember Dawson's out of the room, probably. I don't know what he could possibly be doing, pruning his fingernails in the mirror or something.
I don't know. Having his parents bow at his feet. I don't know. And so they're on the dance.
Wearing his kingly robes, walking around the school.
Exactly, strutting around the Leary's Fresh Fish.
Oh, they're not even in the school. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
prom school. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what? Do you know what should have happened? Here's another thing. So I'm very interrupting. I do apologise.
I'm trying to get to the moment.
What they should have done, what the organisers of the anti-prom should have done, being predominantly Jack and
Yes.
Andy and Joey.
Yeah.
They should have arranged a Carrie-like situation for the prom king, because obviously he would have to be the prom king.
Oh yes,
wouldn't he?
of the
Because
prom.
nobody else
Organized.
would ever be allowed.
And Joey
Nobody
is going to
would
be the queen of the
Oh
prom.
yes,
He
it would
organized.
be have to be done. And then when they go up there, and it's exactly the same as Carrie, but for Dawson.
Oh, I would love
Except with all the killing and the
that. I mean,
telekinetic
he would
afterwards.
enjoy
It's
that.
just
You could just use the telekinesis on Dawson, but yeah.
no, there's no telekinetic powers from Dawson. It's literally just he doesn't have to be blood either. It could be like oil or something like that. So something really horrible. Not hot oil. That's a bit too far. Just cold oil, and just pour it all over him.
Yes, all the oil they use to fry the fish.
Exactly.
With the hot fish oil.
It's fish oil, cold fish oil that's been congealed.
Or hot.
No, we don't want it. We can't injure the person. Just embarrass him. I don't want to injure him. I mean, I want to push him out on the Cape.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
I thought you would go for
boiling oil.
Yes, considering you wanted to just tie him to a boat and practically drown him in the middle of the water.
Yeah, I did say drown. That was it was a bit extreme.
Yes.
The creek, not the Cape side.
The creek.
A cape is a piece of water.
Yes, but no. Now you're just giving me all of these great ideas, and it's never going to be. So yes, that would be glorious though. It would be a great movie themed demise for Dawson, which is perfect.
It would.
Perfect on brand. On brand.
He would. Everybody would have remembered that for years. He would have constantly been known as Oilhead.
Yes, greasy Dawson, Larry.
Greasy Dawson. Oh look, Greasy Dawson's back, and then he would have lived in Capeside for all of his life, never being a success anywhere.
No, because he would still be stinking of fish wherever he goes.
Yes, his entire time. Oh, look, kids, don't go to Greasy Dawson's
fish
house.
Man. Don't go to the stinky fish man's house. He'll end up like the Boo Radley. He'll be the Boo.
That's exactly what he is. Yes, he's the Boo Radley off of To Kill a Mockingbird of Capeside. That's what he is. Yes. Although we're sympathetic towards Boo Radley, we are, and that's not the case for here.
He will never get redeemed. He will never get redeemed like Boo Radley. He will always just have
Boo
this
Radley
reputation.
Was a pleasant person, a misunderstood character.
Dawson is not misunderstood, not at all.
No. If he's anyone in To Kill a Mockingbird, what a wild tangent this is. If Dawson is anyone in To Kill a Mockingbird, he's the leader. What's his name? Bob? Somebody? The leader of the racists. That's what
yes.
Not that Dawson's a racist. I don't think Dawson's a racist.
Okay, this is going to. Because first it's like boil him in oil, drown him in the ocean, boil him in oil, and now it's the.
Okay. And now he needs Gregory Peck to come and tear him a new one in the court.
Yes, all of that. So back to the beautiful moment that we love. The song comes on. It's called "My Invitation." I looked it up. "My Invitation" by Sarah Slean plays. It's a very kind of sad, sweet song, perfectly to score this moment. She takes his hand, takes him out to the dance floor. They start dancing. Pacey tells her, "Why does this feel so natural? Why does this feel so easy?" And then she kind of jokes, it's probably because of those dance lessons. So calling back to a fun moment of them kind of first developing these feelings, which is so sweet. And you kind of notice just their physicality in this scene is so good, because it's like Joey shyly kind of being afraid to look into his eyes and look into his eyes for too long, because she knows if she does, she will completely lose herself. So she's kind of like
Melt.
glancing up. Yes, she's kind of glancing up and then looking away, or she's looking down, or she's like looking off to the side because she's just so scared to look into his eyes and connect with him, because she knows that she'll be done for. So just the physical performance in those little moments, all his little touches of her shoulder and her hair. And he notices these earrings that Dawson had brought her to wear, these fancy diamond earrings that he loaned to her from Gail. He notices them right away and he tells her, "Oh, where did you
That's a
get these?"
manipulation.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Sorry. I'm
It's
supposed to
part
be
of his
being
plan.
quiet.
It's part of his plan. But yeah, he notices them and he says, "Where did you get these? These don't look like you." And she's like, "Oh, I borrowed," or she's like, "Oh, why? Because I'm just some poor girl from up the creek," kind of like jokingly, like, "I'm not sophisticated enough to wear." He's like, "No, not that at all. It's just these don't look like you. This bracelet, this is more you. It's elegant, it's simple." Um, and she says, "That's my mother's bracelet." And he says, "I know." And she's like, like, how do you know that?" And he recalls a day where she was wearing this very specific sweater. And as he's talking about the sweater, he like touches her shoulder, like,
Yes.
he just grazes her arm.
It's
He
steamy. It's steamy in the
Yes,
most unsteamy
and the
way.
way he's just like gracing her back as well, and she's kind of melting into him, and he's just describing the sweater perfectly with perfect accuracy. "You were wearing this specific sweater, um, and I was bothering you as I usually do, and you were getting annoyed with me as you usually do, and you told me, 'Hey, Pacey, cut me some slack. I found my mother's bracelet in a drawer today.'" Um, and so she kind of is like, the detail in which he kind of remembers this moment. She's like,
Yes,
"You
it's very
remember
significant.
that?" And he says, so low, and a whisper right in her ear, "I remember everything." And it's like the most
Oh,
romantic thing ever.
it
Like,
is. It
us
is.
as Pacey fans, us as Dawson's Creek fans, just melted away in the "I remember everything" moment. "I remember everything" is like one of the best Dawson's Creek moments, like, just thinking
It,
about it.
it,
And then the
it is heart
touches, she
melting.
closes her eyes, she leans into him closer, he's gracing her back and her arm, and she's holding on to him. And then we see Andy see them, and the face gets a
Yeah.
little sad. And then we see Dawson stop and see them, and he sees the connection, and her eyes are closed. She's lost in this moment with Pacey. And then Pacey feels her kind of tense up or stop or something, because we can read it on Joshua Jackson's face. Played so
Mm,
perfectly, because it's just the
yes.
music playing. It's this beautiful, sad song playing, and that's all we hear. The talking has stopped, and we're just in their emotions. And as Pacey kind of feels her stop dancing and tense up in his arms, his face like is kind of, his eyes kind of open up, his face drops a little bit. He gets shocked because you can tell that he knows Dawson is right there, that Dawson is
Yeah.
watching them, because his back is to Dawson. And then
Yeah.
we see Joey spot Dawson, and Dawson storms out of the dance. And then she looks at Pacey, and then like the last note of the song that the singer sings kind of goes down, and Joey's face like goes down with that note and drops with
Yeah.
that note, and it's so impactful. Just how
It's
their actions even go with what's happening in the music. And it's just such a good scene. Like, I when I watched this episode, I literally went back and watched that scene like 5 times, because it's just
uh,
so well acted. So, just the physicality of it, the music, the emotions, the dialogue, the delivery, and the impact, because you're kind of lost with them, and then you remember the reality of the situation with Dawson and Andy kind of looking on, and their reactions
yeah.
to it. And it just
I
it kills you, because you know how good they would be together, and you see the obstacles in their way. Ugh,
it,
so
it
good.
does. I mean, it does kill you. You say obstacles. I still just stick to the fact that it's really only
Well, in
one
their mind.
obstacle.
In their
In
mind.
their minds, sure, yes,
Yeah.
okay, yes, absolutely. But I do, I echo everything you're saying. It is a beautifully crafted scene. It really, really is very, very romantic.
Yes.
Very, very romantic. And Joshua Jackson has clearly been the best actor on this show. Clearly. And there's a reason that I think they captured that at the time, because they realized, obviously, in writing the show, let's give Josh more to do.
Mhm.
So season 3 happened.
Yeah.
Is what I could assume happened.
Yes, I mean, probably
Because
after that scene with his dad on the beach where he's just
right,
breaking down
yeah,
and Mike is passed out next to him, that scene had to have clenched.
yeah,
Wow, look what we got here. We need to
yeah,
give him more. Yeah.
yeah. And he totally succeeds. And you know, the two of them looking on you, Andy is really, you know, forlorn, and but in that understanding kind
In
of quiet,
understanding way. Yeah.
this is sad, but I kind of get it way,
Because
good
she still has
performing.
feelings. Yeah.
And almost Vanderbeek takes me out of it, because he actually looks like he's just twitching and frothing at the mouth, and it becomes
Yeah.
a little cartoonish. And I don't think it does. I think the scene is still really well put together, and I don't know if my dislike for Dawson is changing my feelings towards Vanderbeek himself. I don't think it should do, and I
No,
don't
well,
think I should
no,
allow
because
that to
you hear
happen.
him. You hear him talk, or he talks very badly about Dawson himself. He's like, Dawson
Yeah,
was
well,
terrible.
I don't think I should allow that to happen. So I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm
no, no,
seeing
no,
things that
no.
aren't there.
Yeah.
I might be seeing things that aren't there, but for some reason I felt just a little bit like he was looking at them like this, and
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
felt a
that was
little bit extreme
yes,
compared to
yes, it's like,
what
we
everybody
need
else is
to
doing.
know, we need to read on your face that you're upset, and
Like we know
it
anyway.
wasn't subtle, it wasn't subtle. Yes, so after this dance and we see her face drop, we see Dawson go out, commercial break, of course, and then when we come back, she's chasing Dawson out of the dance, and he's being a complete asshole as he is blaming her. How dare you dance with him at the dance I organized, kind of thing.
For me,
Yes. Um, and she's trying to defend herself, rightfully so. And he's like, this is not how this night was going to end. Even though he told her, she is like going into this. This is just fulfilling a friend's pact. We're on the road to becoming friends. I'm not looking for anything romantic with you at this moment. But he still tells her about his plans for this to be a romantic night for them. That I was going to invite you
yeah.
to this dance and we were going to kiss and it would have been like this. And then he kisses her and he says, that's how this night should have ended, and like storms off.
That's horrendous. That's really bad. It's really bad. After like 80 minutes of episode, I think my energy has, my hatred energy is not depleted, but I've expelled enough of it, and I've reached the stage now where it's been a wonderful episode of discovering Dawson's Creek, but I have reached the stage of it now where I am just despairing, because it's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
And it just gets worse and worse with him. So what more can I do now other than boil him in oil again?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Andy is there for Pacey after kind of this at the end of the night, and he apologizes for. He's like, I thought I could go with you and it would be fine, but this was really hard for me. And Andy is a support for him, so we appreciate that she's kind of come around.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, but then even after this, Joey's still kind of still trying to keep this friendship going with Dawson thing, and it's just like.
Like it's just wrong. It is just wrong at this point. I'm absolutely fascinated to see what this finale is
Yeah.
going to bring.
Yeah.
I really, really am, because we're treating, it's its own episode next time on Discovering Dawson's Creek as well. The finale of the season gets their own. And that's because they're odd numbers, really, aren't they? Obviously, but the finale of the season is going to get its own episode.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued, because it can't end positively for Dawson. I just can't allow it to. I don't understand why people would have gone back for season 4 at the time to watch it if this season ends positively for Dawson. And you've told me it doesn't because there's crying Dawson meat.
Yes,
so I'm
so
excited.
I will not be revealing any more than that. So yes, I'm excited for you.
Does he get told he's useless? Does he get? I've built up energy again now. Does he get told he's useless? Does he get told he's terrible?
Those are the tears he makes when he realizes that he is being walked. He has to walk the plank of the creek. Walk the pier.
To be pushed
walk
out
the pier.
to the creek.
Yes.
Does Pacey do it? Does Pacey Joey, his own mother and father, and what was her name from Stolen Kisses? His auntie.
Julie Bowen.
She's Julie Bowen. She's there as well, and all the people who Dawson supposedly loves. Although I don't think he's got the capacity to love properly.
Aunt Gwen, that's her name.
Aunt Gwen. I don't think he's got the capacity to love properly. They're all there
to judge him,
pushing the boat
like a Christmas Carol.
Yes, exactly. Haunting him, pushing the boat out. We've all had enough of you. You're the worst person ever. And he just can't handle it, and he just breaks down. Please give me the psychology analysis
what
of
you want for those are your hopes for Dawson's Creek season 3 finale. Well,
not specifically, but thematically, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for you to see this episode. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. If anyone watching has questions for us for this season 3, what we liked, what we didn't like, what were the best moments. If you have any questions or anything like that, or anything you want to hear us talk about in this finale episode, please let us know so we can, then discuss them going into it. But yeah.
Leave those comments, leave those likes, subscribe, ding your notification bell on this YouTube channel for more stuff like this on Discovering Dawson's Creek. Find us on social media, get in touch with us there. It's been scrolling down the bottom of the screen all episode long. We're very much looking forward to the finale. You can support us on Patreon or donate. There are links in the description to go and do that as well. It's going to be a wild one. I think. Although maybe not as wild as this episode of Discovering Dawson's Creek was, which I've had a great time today.
Yes.
Can you tell? I've had a good time today?
I can tell, and I'm happy. I'm happy for it.
I'm happy that I'm so annoyed.
Yes.
I've been able to channel it into wanting to
very cathartic. Yes.
Very cathartic. Yes. Very cathartic. Good job. He's fictional, really. I mean, people in real life like this don't actually exist, do they? I mean, they do, but we like to think we can metaphorically boil them in oil. Metaphorically, that's a key word there. Metaphorically, not physically. Don't boil anyone in oil. Okay.
Or tie them up and throw them out into the creek.
No, don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. You will it will be prison for you.
Yes.
It will be prison for you if you do that, which you don't want. There we go, though, for this episode, I think, Janine, of Discovering Dawson's Creek. There is, of course, only one thing left to do, as we have done some sort of promotion there. I can't have you do it. Just count us down in a way that the citizens of Capeside would react if we were to go ahead with our plan of putting him on a boat.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Grab your torch and pitchfork.
He's like Frankenstein's monster.
Yes. I remember everything.